A snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he's got some space here. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
First down, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3 yards to go on second down. Now Blunt. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And down inside the 10 at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is third and goal. Bridgewater again. Steps away to his left. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Teddy Bridgewater, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Bridgewater to throw it. Past the 20. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. On Play action. It's Bridgewater. His throw incomplete. Even though he's a fourth-rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never know. Fourth-round pick has a chance to be a really good player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They go play action here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to lead to a third down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Michael Kendricks with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater. He'll rifle this one deep. He's got him in. Complete. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that. Right there, they get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Bridgewater. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. Bridgewater. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Here's Blunt. And some space here. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things out. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Dancing to, and that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this. Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it with Collins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number 1.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence of good scouting by both teams, right? Understanding what they like to do.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him for a loss of 5. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
On second down, Collins. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to duck it.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Michael Kendricks in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken at the 37. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. 12 yards on the return that time. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it here with Blunt. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are pouring it on. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And they're able to up the lead by one more. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have recovered. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Pete Carroll, no stranger to rolling the dice. He'll roll it again. 4th down, they're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Eagles defense able to hold.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right?
Get
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And they will take a knee here. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Eluding the pressure right. Finding room inside the 40. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Going underneath to Blunt. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater escaping the pressure right. And Matthews has got it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Eagles continue to roll.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him. It's a regular routine for him, isn't it? It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage. And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it. They go again with Collins. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard. Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now LeGarrette Blount gets set to go again on offense. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3. And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space. And he's had some good help up front to boot. Bridgewater on first down. He finds his target. It's Matthews. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Flushed out right. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now a carry for Blunt. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second down, Bridgewater. Screen pass to Blunt. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. And this is a blowout so far as we get 1st and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. To throw, Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. On first down, Wilson. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Graham slotted out to the left. On second down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's at the 50. 30. The 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So that'll back them up 5. To throw is Wilson. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to be brought down. his own 6-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at about the 28. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
First down, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Malik McDowell with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run again with Blunt. And shutting him off, now open field. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The call here. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is. And what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Eagles, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, The early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.